Welcome back to Let's Play Deathmark. I was actually originally going to re-go through, well, not re-go through, but go through the bad end route of Chapter 3, at least the intro bit, off screen before recording, but then I just forgot. It was just to, confirm if maybe there's different dialogue. It's gonna be doing that again today? Come on. Yeah, let's sort this out. Like, shake the controller. Does nothing. Yeah, it's L2. L2, for whatever reason, goes up, but doesn't go up like any further than that. Damn you, controller! Don't know what button it is, but it's really annoying that it does that. Well, a heat wave has recently passed, so we can finally record again. I have to record for my main channel Let's Plays before the heat wave, so I was like recorded a bit in advance there. Funny thing is, this recorded session here is the last one I really need to do until I think the 28th, maybe? I don't know, because that'll be when I'd like be. Because on my main channel I also occasionally play Jurassic World Evolution 2. It used to be the original Jurassic World Evolution. I do like, have them have fights and all that in a kind of, WWE pay-per-view kind of style. And I like time it around the main pay-per-views and shit. Doesn't matter, it has nothing to do with that, but that's gonna kind of throw off the mix of uploading a bit when we get around to that. But the important thing is, Heatwave is finally over. For now. There'll probably be another one. And it will suck. Seriously, I didn't really feel the effects of it for the most part. It's like it'd be 28, 29 degrees, and I just be like, yeah, whatever. But then on the day where it was like, past 30, yeah, that's pretty bad. It's like I would not be able to do any recording in that. Anyways, let's look at these new characters. Suzu Morimiya, female elementary school student, a young girl who called Hanayome to ask her something and received a mark. She was raised in a complicated household and is extremely mature. The only thing childish about her is her love of animals. How is that childish? It's like, you love animals. How childish. Eita Nakamatsu, male, self-employed, so he says, an occult maniac who's addicted to BBSs. He met Suzu through the reader's column in OPR monthly, and she idolizes him like a big brother for whatever reason. He also has a strange expression there. This is the beginning of the hottest summer in the life of Eita, age 33. I guess we have a confirmed age for two characters now. Show is 19, Eita 33. You know, one other thing I keep forgetting to mention is, have you noticed in some of the CGs the protagonist appears in, it's kind of inconsistent. Sometimes he has glasses and sometimes he doesn't. It's kind of weird. Rumours of Hanayome with the end of the 90s, online infrastructure has advanced the popularity of a certain widely used BBS. Hanayome is an urban legend that's sprung up from that BBS. It goes as follows. The telephone booth in H City will let you talk to ghosts. You inside when it beeps, the phone will suddenly ring. Pick it up and you'll hear a strange lip-smacking noise. A woman will ask, have you seen it? You say you're supposed to reply with, I haven't seen it. You respond with, what do you want to see? Someone actually followed the instructions and was able to find a missing pet. What a strange tale. A lot of people are interested in this girl, the ghosts wanting to find things of people who have become lost, but not a single one has ever mentioned getting a mark from her. The circumstances seem to imply the spirit gave the mark to Agent Suzu. Plus, why is the spirit called a bride? She appears as a bride, then someone must have seen her. Wait, brides? I mean, yeah, I get that, but let me check my dictionary. I don't suppose the word would actually be in here, would it? Oh wait, it is. Oh yeah, that is bride, Hanayome. I did not realize. The ghost is basically just called brides. Hanayome is, you know, the Japanese word for brides. Well, that's a new word learned. Well, now we know that, yeah. I mean, it basically would be say, plus, why is the spirit called Hanayome? You know, because it means bride. She appears as a bride, then someone must have seen her. First phone box. Free phone boxes in H City. It let you speak with a ghost. One seems to be the one Eita and Susie used. It shouldn't take long to reach the other two by car. I'm concerned about the statue stolen from H Shrine too. Hanayome really can tell us where they are. That would save us a lot of time. Only one way to find out. Now also, in the... was it a previous part or part before it? I think it was the previous part. Where it was like, oh, you know that thing that Iwakura or whatever the hell was called made me think of Onyx? And I didn't realize that Iwa actually means rock. So, you know, it makes sense. Onyx is called rock, so they could have nothing to do with some sacred rock. Let me actually check my dictionary. Rock might actually have... I don't know. Yeah, it's got two versions. Material, Ganseki, and a large stone is Iwa, which makes sense, of course. And then for music, it's just Roku. Because it's just rock, isn't it? So... Lord Eita, Lord Suzu, and Lord Christy. Hanayome is likely the one that gave all of them their marks. This is one of their public phones that rumors say Hanayome calls. You may obtain a clue regarding the key that will end the grudge. East Asian ghosts and their, you know, grudges. Yes, that's what I was looking for. You know, it is interesting, you know, ghosts are part of, like, the kind of mythology and all that in all cultures, it seems. But, like, they can be drastically different on different sides of the world, you know? It's like, the ghosts in the West compared to the ghosts in the East, kind of different. I see a small park tucked between all of the looming apartment buildings. There's no one here. Everyone's already asleep. I'm pretty sure that's the phone booth from the Hanayome place. Man, park's kinda eerie when there are no kids around. Rumors say the phone is supposed to ring if you wait by it for a while. I'm guessing waiting outside doesn't count. Yeah, probably not. When I tried, it didn't ring until after I'd gone inside. But the booth is too small for two people. I mean, Eita, he's basically almost two people. He's like, hey, you call me fat? I mean, look at me. I'm kind of fat, but... I mean, you know, me, myself. I am not fat, but I do, you know, I am a bit... Need to exercise more. Trouble is, you know, we had a heat wave recently, so I couldn't really get much exercise going. Otherwise, I would have fried. Because it's just too warm. Who's to get? Alright then. I or Eita will have to go in. I'll pass. I'm kind of big, so yeah, me and Grand Faces don't work. Just kind of curious. You know what? Yeah, you know what? I'll do that actually. I'll like save, and then, you know, when I get next point where I can save. When we get back to the mansion, essentially. I'll reload. Well, I'll save first, then reload the, bad ends save file, and pick maybe Suzu, to tag along, just to see how that would play. Like, hey, I'm not gonna be the one to go in now. Or maybe Christy, I don't know. Because, I don't know. Probably just basically be like, nah, you gotta be the one to do it. We'll just give our own excuses for why we can't do it ourselves. Guess I'll just have to go in. You are the chosen one, Mr. Protagonist. It's cramped inside and almost impossible to move around at all. The sitting duck if a spirit attacked me while I'm in here. Colored glass makes it hard to see the outside. That just makes me more nervous. I wonder how long I have to wait until the phone rings. Last time I glance around at the inside of the booth. There's a poster attached to the window. Young woman kidnapped. A young local woman was kidnapped close to this location. If you were a witness to this crime, please notify the police and This is dated 5 years ago. Looks like something terrible happened here. The phone begins to ring. Hastily reach out and pick it up. The only sound I hear is the dial tone. No one is speaking. What's going on? Suddenly there's a strange noise. Crunching, smacking like the sound of saliva as someone chews. I think our voice got freaked out the cat a bit. The cat was like looking at the TVs. Cat's on the floor right now, just chilling out. Just looked up and like, what the hell was that? Tucked in, the smacking is a woman's voice. The voice is creepy, cold, and chills me down to the bone. Is this Hanayome? I don't get why the way the text goes is so slow compared to how, she's voice acting. She asked a second time. Rumours mentioned that I should say... Wait. I haven't seen it, that was the one, right? Very seriously, I say, I haven't seen it. What do you want to see? Question. It's going exactly as the rumor said. Hanayome is supposed to tell you the location of whatever you're looking for. She told me to ask about the Buddha statues that were stored at the main shrine. I'll give it a try. Buddha statues, Lord Buddha. Does your arm already have the mark of a Buddha on it? Tell me, you want a new Buddha? Why are you doing that? Tell me. Well, tell me. 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 The line goes dead. The woman's scream is still ringing in my ears. I feel sick. Must be because of my brush with that blood-curdling insanity. Why didn't she answer my question? What was different from when the others asked? The mark on my arm burns dully, like it's reminding me it exists. Maybe this is why she was acting strangely. And she did say something to the effect that Buddha gave me this mark. Was she just too insane to differentiate between Buddha and the monstrous spirits? Or is this mark really the work of a divine wrath from the Buddha statues? I wait a while longer, but the phone doesn't ring again. There's no point in staying in here. As soon as I leave the booth, Eita comes up. You're drenched in sweat. Did something happen? I tell Eita about my conversation with Hanayome. Weird. No one mentioned that online. Eita's brow furrows in confusion. Anyway, why don't we try going to the other phone? There should be clues there. You could try that too. It's no time to get lost in thought. The last phone booth is at the T Mountain Rest area in the other direction. We'll head there after stopping at the mansion. It's probably wise to ask Mary what she knows since it's on the way. Info is at a split by second phone books. We could save here. I think I have actually, I don't know. I'm not sure if I've tried it with each character, but I've definitely done this part of the game 2 separate times, and the second time I picked a different character. So, we're gonna have to skip through quite a bit of a long scene going through it. Because last saved at the end of chapter 2 on this one. I did save, right? Yeah. Just keep in mind, Sho has died on the save file, so let's see if they even acknowledge him the next day. Probably not. Death is cheap, man. They just don't care. They'll acknowledge it after it happens and then forget about it until, you know, it gets to the epilogue. If we've known Christian mention, we've not found any. I don't think it's gonna have any acknowledgement of Sho's death. We ain't found shit. Like, Sho? Who cares about Sho? Yeah, I don't think it's gonna have any acknowledgement that Sho has died. Who cares about Sho? It should also show that he's dead now. Aftermath missing, vanished in the forest by Hate's castle. Man, the only real reason I'm doing this is so we can get different, you know, dialogue in that scene, because there's no acknowledgement of Sho's death yet. I don't suppose it's gonna be any random acknowledgement. It's like, oh, remember how Shimio killed Sho? Iwakura. Yeah, sake of rock. Quite a few headless Buddhas, aren't there? Let's go. Stop the car. It's like, it's a van. Yeah, but you can still call it a car. Whoops, didn't realize. I'm just holding down L1 here. I'm looking through my dictionary again. Kind of curious if that means anything. It's like walk means anything. Shifting through these pages with just with just one hand is a bit awkward. Let me just check. Yeah, as expected. Can't find Namu here. I was wondering if maybe Namu actually means something. Maybe it does, but I assume that's just a name. Really? Ghosts. Obake. I always thought it'd be Yurei or something like that. Or maybe that's like a different type of ghost. Like Obake is maybe just, you know, general for, you know, ghosts. In general kind of words. Spirit in here. I should really get on with the bloody game novel here, but yeah, spirits not in here. Well, let's say I'm not sure yet. Really. But the rumors about Hanayome go back 5 years. It's the same dialogue. Right, where's my Spexu's case? Where the hell did I put it? Is it behind? Nope. What the? You know what? Let's do this differently then. So the Spexu's case. Actually, how's this flip? Nah, it doesn't quite work with the dictionary because it just gets open like that. I'll use the death mark case itself. Front cover is heads, back cover is tails. Heads for Christy, tails for Suzu. Suzu it is. Let's see how different the dialogue is. I'm sure that's a telephone booth from the rumours. Yeah, I think you're right. When I called her, it didn't ring until I went inside. Booth is too small for 2 people. Rai or Suzu will have to go in. Well, you know, it would be pretty cramped, I suppose. Should I go in? No, I'll go in. It's like, no. It's like, Eita can't go in because he's a bit, you know, big. He probably could fit in there and be a bit cramped. Suzu, you know, plenty of room. But, you know, Protag's like, no, this is something I must do myself. I can't stand around and make a kid do this. I think Chrissy's version would be just like, I ain't going in there. Because I'm gonna take her to the T-Mountain and she'll probably, you know, say the same thing. Like, I ain't going in there. You go in there. I'm not dealing with that. It's like, ugh. It's like, yeah, nasty sound. You know what it is? It's like, you know, that kind of farting putty thing. If you've ever had one of those, you just put your fingers in and it just makes those noises. Tell me why! As soon as I leave the roof, Susan comes up to me. You don't look good. Did something happen in there? Well, Susan, about my conversation with Hanayome. I wonder what's going on. She answered my question, okay? Susan's brow furrows in confusion. You want to see about that hollow telephone box? Maybe some clues are there. Or you can try one more time there. There's no time to get lost in thoughts. The last phone booth is at T-Mountain Rest Area, the old region. We'll head there after, stopping at the mansion. Probably wise to ask Mary about she knows this is on the way. Alright, let's make the save on the other save file and then reload. It's gonna be a bit confusing now. Let's reload the second save file. And then save on that second save file in our next save. Kind of annoying how it doesn't really give a good indication of where you are on each save file. It just shows the location and nothing else. And by show I mean it just, you know, points out. I mean, I suppose one way to be able to tell which one I'm reloading is because you've got Eita here. But that's not going to help when it comes to saving, is it? Tell Mary what happened at the phone box. You say Hanayome acted strangely. She called the spirit that cursed you with your mark Buddha. I cannot say I know what she saw, but from what you said, she will likely not respond to your question. That does not mean she does not understand you, however. Use any method available to obtain as much information as you can. So, let's bring Christy along. Because, you know, it feels fitting for her to, you know, go to T-Mountain one. You know, I'm still kind of like unsure who to kill off in this chapter. Because we can kill off basically any of these characters can die. The ex-reporter, the gutsy girl, the timid nerds. It's like when I got the bad ending, I went with Christy. Because I know on this chapter it feels it's like, you know, Susan and Eita, kind of weird how they're, you know, even acquainted, let alone friends. But you know, they, you know, whatever. Christy dies is just like, well, at least the other characters will get over that pretty quickly. But if one of these characters dies, the other character's gonna be like kind of grief-stricken. Well, Christy will just be stone cold. It's like, oh, that's a shame. Well, anyways, my mark's gone. It's just like we show, he's just like, oh, that's a real shame. Anyways, you know, I've got an idea. It's just like, I'm gonna go take a nap. It's like, the badass hero killed off Suzu in his playthrough, and Eita was absolutely devastated. He was, like, just a complete wreck. So, you know, that's certainly a reaction to a death. More so than we've seen from the other ones so far. In the booth is a poster looking for info on a crime that happened nearby. The phone rings while I'm distracted, just like the rumors. When I pick up, a woman answers. No, when I pick up, a woman answers. I just was like thinking, as like, is that grammatically correct? Should there be a comma there or not? Smack no lips, but I can't get info on the status from her. For some reason, she's behaving different from what we were told to expect. There's one more telephone booth. We better check it out too. Tell me what happened to the phone box. I say the same thing you already heard from me. Now, do be on your way. I've got important things to do, such as, just chilling on the sofa. Phone booth stands solidly on the edge of the vacant rest area. Come to think of it, no, I'm not sure. I think when I originally played it, I did it in the opposite order. I went to the park last. So that's maybe different to how I did it when I originally played it. Endless sea of trees stand behind it. Christy must have run into the forest after she heard the phone ring. I can hear a dog howl from nearby. It's not a howl, that's a bark. It almost sounds sad, but I'm probably just imagining this. Christy doesn't seem bothered by it. She's completely focused on the phone box. I must have gotten my mark from Hanayome back then, but I was completely oblivious. I wasn't exactly in the right state of mind. Well, now that I'm here, I still have no idea why Hanayome hung up. I followed the rumors exactly. Where did I go wrong? I scratched my head. Don't adhere to the gossip. Defy it. Suddenly I hear that strange voice again. Gossip. In other words, the rumors. What will happen if I don't follow the rumors? Christy, go back to the car. There's something I want to try. But it might end up backfiring on me. Sure. So she doesn't acknowledge it because this is like doing this kind of out of order in a way. If it was the first booth we visit, she'd basically be like, I ain't going in there, you go in there. Susan seems to be the only one of the three that actually volunteers to do it herself. But the protagonist is like, no, this is something I must do, for we don't want to have to, have a different scene play out, because that takes too much work. I don't know what you're going to do, but please be careful. Oh, and I almost forgot. I have a message from Eita. Yeah? It's about the latest information on Hanayome from the VBS. Take a look. Yep. I can't remember if I actually have seen Christie's dialogue for this. I've seen Eita's one. He basically comes up and tells you the information. And I've seen Susan's one, which is basically like, Eita, told me to tell you this. But I'm not sure I've seen it with Christy. Christy hands me a note written by Eita. Don't talk about eyes or things like it when you're on the phone with Hanayome. If the call goes sideways somehow, don't say I, okay? Now this one is a bit confusing. I'm not sure if there might be some of it, like, as a clue, is kind of lost in translation. I can't remember. We'll see. But yes, best to avoid anything that even sounds like I. So basically avoid mentioning any words that sounds like I. What? Don't say I. It's like, don't say I, Captain. Or she'll kill you. It's... Yeah, that's all. Anyway, Eita said he was sure it would come now. I'll keep it in mind. Christy returns to the car. I step inside and wait for the phone to ring. There's a poster in this booth too. Just like the one at the park, this looks like it's been here for a few years. Help our investigation on the night of... I'm just like, I hate it. I really do. Because I'd imagine this, well, yeah, it's localized by an American company. So they do it differently. It's like, it's probably month, day, year, as opposed to how it is where I live here in the UK, where it's day, month, year. Why the hell is that a thing why it's different? It just throws me off whenever I see it. Because, 2/8, that could mean anything. It could be like, the 2nd of the 8th, 1990. Or it could be, which I assume it is, because, American, translation, it's probably February 8th, 1990, whatever year. An assault took place in the forest nearby. If anyone has any info on this case, please notify H Police Department. Yeah, see? Damn American translations always throw me off in games. Just like, that was like in August. No, it's February. Because it's like you have the month first, which makes no sense to me. I mean, I guess it's because they're like February 8th. Instead of being like, having the other way around, it'd be 8th of February. But, I am accustomed to it being day, month, year. Throws me off every time. Unless, it's like, if you see anything number past 12, then you know what you're in for. But when it's under that, it can be a bit confusing. 5 years ago. Wait. 5 years ago. February 8th, 5 years ago. Would that be 1990 then? Because I think the plot of this game takes place in 95, judging by, Mary acknowledging that the war ended 50 years ago. And the poster I saw in the park had the exact same date. Coincidence? The phone rings. I grab the receiver and slowly pick up. I'm chewing gum. I hear a noise like someone, even acknowledges it, like someone chewing gum from the other end of the phone. Nice and cold, the voice speaks. Does it have to be so slow? Oh yeah, I totally saw it. You saw, didn't you? You saw that thing of me! The voice cuts off. Uh-oh. Something outside collided by the glass of the booth, but I can't see it. Can you see it? Yes. Well, you're gonna die. Live or die. Remember the hints. Don't say anything about eyes. With your own eyes, or eyeglasses, a telescope. It's so stupid. It's basically telling you, okay, pick one of these options. We know we can't say anything to do with eyes. That sounds like eyes. So you can't say eyes or eyeglasses. But a freaking telescope? That's just stupid. Why would you be like, how do you see with your own eyes? Eyeglasses. It's like, that seems stupid as well. Just say glasses. Well, no, that still doesn't make sense. The telescope? You should say, with your own eyes. Binoculars, maybe. But, binoculars doesn't sound like eyes. The answer is obviously a telescope. I was just, stargazing, and I just happened to see it. When I, panned down to the ground. I was like, oh my god, what's that over there? Sounds like something searching around outside the phone box. You saw it. You said you saw it. You saw it with a telescope. How the hell did that even happen? What color? A beautiful color. This one is... man. I forget how this one goes. No, actually, I mean, I've been looking at my dictionary exams. I can't remember what I is in Japanese. Yeah, I is just meh. But we got some variety. Eyebrow, mayuge, eyelash, matsuge, eyelids, mabuta. Eyeshadow is just eyeshadow, so it's really not that different. Obviously, it wouldn't be pronounced quite that way. Pronounced it different in Japanese, but it basically is how it would be in English. Eyesight, shiroku. Red, pink, green. I mean, eye, red, eye, green, green. If I recall the answer, I think the answer is pink. But how would red or green sound like eye? Oh, it's the way it's phrased. Maybe pink? Well, I think it was red or most likely green. None of those, not even the phrasing would imply that, like, saying it like words, using words that sound like I. Maybe that is lost in translations, like, you know, in original Japanese, the way it's worded, you got me in there, and it's like, Japanese word for eye. You saw it with your eye, didn't you? I'm gonna rip your eyes out. You saw it. What kind of person are you? What's important to you? I can't remember this one. Oh wait. Your dreams, romance, love. Which do you choose? I think. Yeah, this actually would kind of make sense from Japanese. Love is like I. You know. That's got I in there. Dreams, yume, me, I. It makes sense. So the answer would be romance. But from an English standpoint, it's like, does dreams sound like I? No. Does love sound like I? No. I mean, maybe if you said lovey or some stupid shit like that. That doesn't even make sense. Though it does feel like a lost in translation. And there's also the wording there, I guess. Romance is great. I believe in a big dollar. Survived. Phone goes dead. I forget what happens if you, maybe there's like an extra CG if you get a game over here, I can't remember. But then again, remember in the previous chapter, got that CG with Shimio for getting the game over, but then the same CG happened later on anyway. Next I know, the bloody handprint is gone, and so is the ominous presence. Questions she asked me was strange. She was particularly anxious about what I had seen. I think I did a good job not mentioning anything like eyes in my answers. Overly conscious over being seen. Maybe that's where her secret lies. Good thing you didn't say lies. That would have counted as saying something sounded like eyes. Although, it wouldn't apply if it was in Japanese. Because, you know, lie is like uso or something like that, right? Looking at the dictionary a lot today, aren't I? Yeah, Uso. Which doesn't sound like me, does it? Next, the move from Chris rushed up. My mark started hurting out of nowhere. Did it go alright? Tell Chris about what happened in the telephone. I have no idea what that means. Guess there's no way she'd know the answer. Something's on the ground there. Sure enough, there's a folded up piece of paper lying near the booth. Looks like a piece of stationery. I don't think it was there before I went into the phone box. Pick up the paper and open it. To Seiko, I'll dispel all of your heartache, forget that horrible incident and take your quiet rest. Forget that horrible incident and take your quiet rest of the day. An instance? The poster I saw at the telephone booth mentioned something like that too. Could they be connected? I asked Chrissy what they think. Chrissy looks deep in thought. What is it? Oh, nothing. Well, we've checked out all the boxes, so let's head back to the mansion. Something still bugs me though. Yeah. We should probably head back for now. Winfrey's adage. So we're not visiting any, well, we are visiting any locations, but it's just one screen. This chapter is shorter, I think, maybe than the second chapter. We do get to see a kind of new location. It's not very long, and by the time you get to the end of it, if I recall, that's the point where it's like, okay, now have you made your choices, everything ready to go? Because you're gonna be, facing confrontation. It's like this chapter, dealing with the ghosts is much easier. When like I said, I originally came across this from Man and Badass Heroes Let's Play. And I'd stopped watching when he got to chapter 3 so that I could play it myself without any spoilers. And I got through chapter 3 without getting a bad ending because it's just so obvious how to get the good results. But with that said, every other chapter, I got the wrong one each time. It's ridiculous. Hey, Mr. Yashiki, you know those posters at that bit of stationery found? Could they be linked to Hanayome? She might have been someone who was caught up in the incident and killed. If that's the case, then Chrissy turns towards the shelves of files. Files full of articles on criminal cases. How convenient. Dates were 5 years ago, right? Then there might be an article on what happened here in these files. Will there be an article that will lead to some context? Find out next time. So we'll see you next time, viewers. See you next time.